Like, just focus on the positives. Focus on recreating your vision. What do you want? And my thing right away is, where do you see yourself in a year? You don't need to figure out the plan how you're going to get there, but at least know where you want to see yourself, and your higher self will orchestrate it.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
You have been extremely positive. You're
100%.
motivational. You try to do all these great things for your team. Do you not see a change in your team?
100%.
Do you not see a change?
My team is amazing. Like, I'm
Exactly.
completely blessed with every single person on this team, because even when they join,
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, I'll be honest, like, some people join and it takes them time. They're not used to it. They're like, what is this hocus pocus stuff? And I always say, I interviewed a guy yesterday and I'm like, listen, he said after the interview, so if you've ever been, Lisa says harmonized, right? When I'm sitting front, like, I'm a motivating person and my energy and frequency is high.
We'll put the definition here.
No, but seriously, it's more about, I work on myself. And I want to say this to everybody out there. I work on myself. I meditate every day, at least an hour, right? So I've now started a new meditation. So funny. We are going to talk about this next segment. Hilarious with my husband. But I started a new, I met with a Buddhist monk, and amazing information I got from the guy. But what I was saying about this is, when I sit with people and talk to them, to me, what I like to see is not the money that we're, bringing into the brokerage, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It's 100% the change in human beings. When I see, like, my agents that start with me, they have a hard time. They're like, this is kind of hard. You get that morning motivation. You get Monday motivation. You're empowered to do and think for yourself, to create the picture you want. And you're not following society. You're not looking at your phone and being inundated with Facebook and, media and all the crap that the media wants to lower your vibration. I tell the team, just for a week or two, just stop watching all of that. Like, just focus on the positives. Focus on recreating your vision. What do you want? And my thing right away is, where do you see yourself in a year? You don't need to figure out the plan how you're going to get there, but at least know where you want to see yourself, and your higher self will orchestrate it. Your higher self will put it together and say, you know what, Jamie, it's going to happen. And I do that all the time, where I'm like, I need this, and that. Like, okay, I don't do what I need. I do the emotion. I feel it. I see it happening. I feel it. I see it happening. And then that's it. And my higher self knows it makes me happy that that's the vision I see. So then I let it orchestrate. So I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen whether it's a month, 2 months, 3 months. There's never a time frame on this stuff happening. So this is what I try to teach my team. I'm like, just vision a successful life. What do you want? What do you want? Like, that whole movie, what do you want? Like, it's what is it?
Which movie is that from?
P.S. I love you. What do you want? And he's yelling at her. He's like in the rain. So I'm like, what do you want? Tell me what you want, because I want, and it's not me doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm bringing it out of your inner self to put it out to the universe, for the universe to orchestrate it. That's all I'm doing. That's it, right? And I know I'm telling the truth. I'm getting goosebumps. So I'm really good at this because I've done it, and I've now seen it happen in my life where it's super exciting, right? All you have to do, visualize. One thing I have to say, empathy goes a long way.
Huge.
When you have empathy and you empathize with people, you will not react the way you react to certain situations. You will not freak out, scream at somebody, because you understand in your mind, you're feeling what that person feels. And I feel in this society, we lack empathy.
100%.
Hardcore lack empathy. Empathize with the individual. When you empathize with the individual, a lot of those, craziness of situations where you're screaming. And I swear, I've seen people scream at people and I'm like,
For no reason.
And I'm like,
really?
Who are you? Like, what? Like, why are you talking like that? Like, your parents should have backhanded you. Like, who does that? Like, that's crazy. Like, were you raised in a barn? Like, you cannot be raised in a barn to be treating people like that. Like, it's crazy. I once, like I said to you, I think it was Starbucks or PetSmart. Can't put my finger on it. But this lady was freaking out. And I'm just like, I took my kids, I'm like, guys, I said it loud. I'm like, guys, let's go. This behavior, don't learn from it. This is bad behavior. Her mom and dad didn't teach her right. And then I pushed them out, right? Yeah. And then I don't know if she stopped or not. I have no idea. But the truth is, you can't act like that.
But in most cases, you're able to diffuse the situation.
100%.
And I think my view on this is that you just never know what happened to that person, what happened in their day or their week.
I totally understand, but shit happens to everybody.
Exactly. But
get out of here.
Sometimes.
Get out of here, Jamie. Don't give excuses.
Hold on.
That behavior is not tolerated. No behavior, bad behavior. Don't be screaming at people. I don't care what trauma you received. I can give you a list of my trauma. You aren't going to see me screaming like a damn animal.
Okay now. What I was just gonna say is sometimes people, they forget, and all you have to do is respond with kindness, and that will reset their mind. That's what I've found in my life.
I hope so.
In a lot of cases, it happens. Somebody just goes ballistics, and you just let them vent out, and leave that awkward 2 second of silence at the end. Just let it be. Don't respond. And I find that works miracles.
I don't, listen, I just want you to know, I'm not an animal that I reply back. If somebody, I've never had, like in the last little bit, I haven't had anybody yell at me. So that's I had one lady at PetSmart yell at me. And like, why do I feel like I'm always at PetSmart? I love my dog, Mando. Can we do a picture of Mando? I love Mando so much.
What's going on, PetSmart?
No, this one lady just like, she lost it. I can't even remember what she lost it. And I just grabbed my 2 kids and I said the same thing. I'm like, this behavior, do not do this behavior. She was never taught as a kid, right? She didn't teach, but she was like ballistic. But I think it was because of something Zervain had done. Zervain must have been like in the same aisle or I don't know. But she went ballistic, and I tell my kids all the time, it's a life lesson. Do not act like this. This is wrong. This is not how you should be treating people. And then I exit them all the time. I remove my kids from the situation with a lesson learned, right? Like to teach them. But I do have to say, I find it so hard for me. And I get very passionate about this because I've been I used to be a manager at McDonald's. And I would get people yelling at me. I quit McDonald's because some construction guy almost beat me up over a cheeseburger. And I want you to know that is not normal. I don't care what anybody says, Jamie. That is not normal. First of all, I didn't even reply. Couldn't even get a word in with him. And then at the end, because I did okay, we'll get you another cheeseburger. He's like, so it is your fault. And then he comes to swing at me. And the close open guy, stopped it. Scott. Thank you, Scott. A shout out to Scott for saving my life.
Thanks, Scott.
But that's what I'm saying to you. It's not normal when you're reacting like that. When I see things I can't even go on social media because some of the things are ridiculous. Like when people are screaming their heads off, I'm like, were you raised in a barn? Were you raised in a barn, man? We're not animals. When did we turn into animals? We're all in the same situation. So there's no excuse. We've all had trauma. I've had trauma. I can list my traumas. It's really anybody's business. But honestly, we've all dealt with it. We all have inner child issues. We all do. But it's not right when you are going out laying your issues on other people who are frontline people. They're not even the person that owns the company. They're not even anybody that, they're just making a living. They're working, right? And it could be your kid. That's if you're yelling at a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old and you have a 16-year-old at home, the universe is going to hear that and just repeat it back to your kids. So think about that. Think about your home. Think about what could happen to you because this stuff gets repeated. And I come back to this point right here. If you're doing this, why me? Why me, universe? Why me? And you're acting like an animal, do some self-reflection. Do some self-reflection. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but really, I've watched the entitlement lately, and it's been off the wall. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't believe the craziness of people not recognizing the self-entitlement and what's leading to, your life being in shambles, right? Mm-hmm. Recognize it. Be grateful for what you have. The small windfalls that you get, be grateful for it. The small windfalls, right? The small. You don't have to win big to be grateful. You can be grateful for anybody that holds a door for you, right? And I say this wholeheartedly. I always do that because it's sad. It's sad that we now I have to be surprised when somebody holds a door for me because that's not common anymore.
Right.
It's not common. So I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, You held the door for me. Thank you. You know, and Buddy's like, whoa, what the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, no, nobody does this anymore. Like it's rare to see the nice versus you see the ugly all the time. So be the change. Don't be the ugly. Yeah. Be the nice. Be the kindness. Be the love. You know what I mean? Be the rare thing. Because you know what? The rare thing will get you a lot more. Because when you switch it up in somebody's life that, you know, all they get is negative, negative. So this consumer, like this customer service rep is getting negative, negative, negative. You turn around and give positive, you're going to get everything you want. Because that person's going to be like, oh, I haven't felt this feeling. This is an amazing feeling. You know what? I'm going to reward this person and do everything in my power to get whatever they need done. That's what's going to happen, right? I always say that, like, if my agents come to me, and I say this, and you can ask anybody on the team, Jamie, you know how it is. If somebody comes to me, they're like, I can't stand that person. I'm like, oh, okay. Come here. And I put them in a room, and I'm like, let's talk about it. Because I want transparency right across the board. I don't want where somebody's talking bad about somebody behind their back, this, and that. I grew up like that. Like, I'm not, like, nothing to do with my culture. Maybe to do with my culture. I have no idea. Probably a little bit. But I try to eliminate that out of my life because I don't want that environment in this house. I want to make sure that when my agents come into my house, that they're happy. And they know that nobody's talking behind their back. And nobody has an issue with them because the issues are dealt at hand. Right? Like, the normal thing to do as an adult, as a child, as anything, never hold and harbor negativity. Go to the person and address it. The thing is we come down to when you're straightforward, people just don't like it, right? They're like, I'd rather not hear the truth. Maybe sugarcoat it, but I'll be honest with you. I tell my team all the time, tell me to my face how I can improve. If I do something that bothers you, please tell me. That's how I improve. That's how I become a better person. But the problem now is, oh, you hurt my feelings. And now I'm going to post it all over social media so everybody can judge you and be against you. So now everybody is filtered, right? So people are filtered and people are afraid to say things, right? And the truth is, sometimes the truth hurts. Yep. It does. Sometimes it hurts. But if you're walking at a line and you think that's okay, then you are the problem. Right? Because if you're coming into my rounds, my aura, and you're offside, and I don't like it, I have two options. A, I can walk away and never talk to you again, which has been my golden rule. Or B, tell you to your face if you really want to be a part of my circle. Always around. Around. I got my coffee, but I covered it. I'm like, nah. Damn it. It's sugar. Oh, that was super loud. You can't do that. That's illegal. So annoying.
I think so.
And the love that we have. You know what? You're so annoying.
This is for synchronization.
I wore a jacket, so it goes ping, ping, pew, pew.
Jeez, Superwoman. Where's the cape?
You're such a bird.
There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play, where the whiskey's running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one, I'm the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place.